to stage. Okay. Let's start. Religion and the Religionist. Early Christianity was entirely free from all civil entanglements, social commitments, and economic alliances. Okay. Only did later institutionalized Christianity become an organic part of the political and social structure of Occidental civilization. The kingdom of heaven is neither a social nor economic order. It is an exclusively spiritual brotherhood of God knowing individuals. I want to check something. Sorry. There. Okay, audio is also good, thankfully. True, such a brotherhood is in itself a new and amazing social phenomenon attended by astounding political and economic repercussions. The religionist is not unsympathetic with social suffering, not unmindful of civil injustice, not insulated from economic thinking, neither insensible to political tyranny. And we are now going through this movement of political tyranny over the entire globe. And a lot of people are closing their eyes for it, but that is the most stupidest thing to do. Face the fact that you are dealing with tyranny on global scale, and that is because the majority of humans seemingly want to experience what tyranny is. And we see in this world that many people are going to be stripped from everything that they hold dear. And if this is needed to finally get yourselves awakened to the real truth, that is that you are a child of God and that you are not in any way, shape, or form capable to live a life yourself. And that is what human history has shown us. Humans are not able to solve any problem by themselves. They are very good in creating problems, destroying God's creation, destroying each other, destroying nature, destroying animals. We are dealing with a very aggressiveness that is going through many humans, and it's not nice to see. Religion influences social reconstruction directly because it spiritualizes and idolizes the individual citizen. Indirectly, cultural civilization is influenced by the attitude of these individual religionists as they become active and influential members of various social, moral, economic, and political groups. The attainment of a high cultural civilization demands first the ideal type of citizen and then ideal and adequate social mechanisms wherewith such a citizenry may control the economic and political institutions of such an advanced human society. The church, because of overmuch false sentiment has long ministered to the underprivileged and the unfortunate, and this has all been well, but this same sentiment has led to the unwise perpetuation of racially degenerate stocks, which have tremendously retarded the progress of the civilization. Many individual social reconstructionists, while vehemently repudiating institutionalized religion, are, after all, zealously religious in the propagation of their social reforms. And so it is that religious motivation, personal and more or less unrecognized, is playing a great part in the present day program of social reconstruction. And I go a little bit back to this sentence of racially degenerate stocks because of the false sentiment in the humans. Humans have allowed to let the weak ones alive among them. If we go to the animal kingdom, then we can see that as soon as weak animals are being born, then they will be there for the predator. So as soon as a group of, let's take for an example, zebras, when among them are zebras born that are weak, that cannot come along with the group, and are in actuality a danger for the entire group, what does the group do? It pushes that weak animal to the front and say to the predator, here you have your food. Humanity did this also in early days. Most of the wars that humans did were also done to take out the weak strength, to take out the weak among the humans. But something happened to the human race in such a way that they become that they allowed a type of false sentiment, and this false sentiment is as a background voice, so to speak, in the human subconscious that tells them that you need to let everyone alive, even the weakest among you. And what has happened? The weakest mated with the strongest, and so the strongest eventually got also with the generation more weak. We are now dealing with a society where there's less strong men and strong women. And so this false sentiment has led the human race to a racially degenerate stocks. That is what the Urantia Book is saying here. The great weakness of all this unrecognized and unconscious type of religious activity is that it is unable to profit from open religious criticism and thereby attain to profitable levels of self-correction. If religion was healthy, then it allows to be corrected. But that's the whole point. Religion has become unhealthy and doesn't allow any self-correction nor correction. It is a fact that religion does not grow unless it is disciplined by constructive criticism, amplified by philosophy, purified by science, and nourished by loyal fellowship, and not the type of fellowship that is being practiced in churches. The fellowship that is mentioned here is just a fellowship of people that come together when they feel that they have come together and they do so. Fellowship is also a good friendship, can be also a fellowship. So it's not um, the type of fellowship people have when they hear the word fellowship. Then most people have in mind coming together in a church building and so on. No, you don't have to. Fellowship can take place everywhere. There is always the great danger that religion will become distorted and perverted into the pursuit of false goals, as when in times of war each contending nation prostitutes its religion into military propaganda. Lovely brothers and sisters, this is exactly what is going on worldwide. Pros, Religion has become the prostitute into military propaganda. So, yeah, everything that I have read so far is exactly what we are dealing and facing at the moment. Loveless zeal is always harmful to religion, while persecution diverts the activities of religion into the achievement of some sociologic or theologic drive. Religion can be kept free from unholy secular alliances only by 1. A critically corrective philosophy, 2. Freedom from all social, economic, and political alliances, 3. Creative, comforting, and love expanding fellowships, 4. Progressive announcement of spiritual insight and the appreciation of cosmic values, and 5. Prevention of fanaticism by the compensations of the scientific mental attitude. So, religionists as a group must never concern themselves with anything but religion, albeit any one such religionist as an individual citizen may become the outstanding leader of some social, economic, or political reconstruction movement. It is the business of religion to create, sustain, and inspire such a cosmic loyalty in the individual citizen as will direct him to the achievement of success in the advancement of all these difficult but desirable social services. And then 4, transition difficulties. And this is the last chapter for today. Genuine religion renders the religionist socially fragrant and creates insights into human fellowship. But the formalization of religious groups many times destroys the very values for the promotion of which the group was organized. Human friendship and divine religion are mutually helpful and significantly illuminating if the growth in each is equalized and harmonized. Religion puts new meaning into all group associations, such as families, schools, and clubs. It imparts new values to play and exalts all true humor. Social leadership is transformed by spiritual insight. Religion prevents all collective movements from losing sight of their true objectives. Together with children, religion is the great unifier of family life, provided it is a living and growing faith. Family cannot be had without children. It can be lived without religion, but such a handicap enormously multiplies the difficulties of this intimate human association. During the early decades of the 20th and 21st century, family life, next to personal religious experience, suffers most from the decadence consequent upon the transition from old religious loyalties to the emerging new meanings and values. True religion is a meaningful way of living dynamically face to face with the commonplace realities of everyday life. But if religion is to stimulate individual development of character and augment integration of personality, it must not be standardized. If it is to stimulate evaluation of experience and serve as a value lure, it must not be stereotyped. If religion is to promote supreme loyalties, it must not be formalized. No matter what upheavals may attend the social and economic growth of civilization, religion is genuine and worthwhile if it fosters in the individual an experience in which the sovereignty of truth, beauty, and goodness prevails. For such is the true spiritual concept of supreme reality. And through love and worship, this becomes meaningful as fellowship with man and sonship with God. After all, it is what one believes rather than what one knows that determines conduct and dominates personal performances. Purely factual knowledge exerts very little influence upon the average man unless it becomes emotionally activated. But the activation of religion is super emotional, unifying the entire human experience on transcendent levels through contact with and release of spiritual energies in the mortal life. During the psychologically unsettled times of the 20th century and the 21st century, amid the economic upheavals, the moral cross-currents, and the sociologic riptides of the cyclonic transitions of a scientific era, thousands upon thousands of men and women have become humanly dislocated. They are anxious, restless, fearful, uncertain, and unsettled. As never before in the world's history, they need the consolation and stabilization of sound religion. In the face of unprecedented scientific achievement and mechanical development, there is spiritual stagnation and philosophic chaos. There is no danger in religions becoming more and more of a private matter, a personal experience, provided it does not lose its motivation for unselfish and loving social service. Religion has suffered from many secondary influences, sudden mixing of cultures, intermingling of creeds, diminution of ecclesiastical authority, changing of family life, together with urbanization and mechanization. Man's greatest spiritual jeopardy consists in partial progress, the predicament of unfinished growth, forsaking the evolutionary religions of fear. without immediately grasping the revelatory religion of love. Modern science, particularly psychology, has weakened only those religions which are so largely dependent upon fear, superstition, and emotion. Transition is always accompanied by confusion, and there will be little tranquility in the religious world until the great struggle between the three contending philosophies of religion is finally ended. And these three are: one, the spiritistic belief of many religions and disbelief in a providential deity; two, the humanistic and idealistic belief of many philosophies; and three, the mechanistic and naturalistic conceptions of many sciences. And these three partial approaches to the reality of the cosmos must eventually become harmonized by the revelatory presentation of religion, philosophy, and cosmology, which portrays the triune existence of spirit, mind, and energy, proceeding from the trinity of paradise and attaining time-space unification with the deity of the Supreme. And with this said, I have come to the end of rereading these topics of religion and religionists and transition difficulties, which I had done yesterday, but again, due to problems on the side of StreamYard, the video didn't work out as it should have been. All right, let us remove this screen. Okay, I want to say thank you so much for listening, and I wish you a beautiful and joyful day. And give a helping hand to a fellow brother, sister. We are in a time and age where we can help each other, especially now when we see so many people becoming homeless, coming into dire situations. In the country where I live, it is still seemingly quiet. So I enjoy each and every day that I can do this work and still have a home. And let us come to this awakening truth that we all are a child of God, and the things that we are going through as a human race, in which we are being stripped step by step by step by our fellow brothers and sisters from rights, from decency, from in this case even homes, food, and all the basic needs. As long as the majority of human brothers and sisters do not want to awaken to the utter truth that they are a child of God and that God is knocking on their door, but they refuse, unfortunately, still to open up the door to Him. And I think, and I truly believe, that as soon as a lot of people start to come back to the Creator and source of the living light and life, then the transitions that we need to go through will go a bit more smoothly and lesser harsh than it is happening right now, with all the threats of war and whatever that is being um, spewed out. So please let us be there for each other. Let us be a listening ear to one another. If you see a brother or sister in which you get the urge to, yeah, be there for that person, just do so. Most of the people are so glad to finally meet a person that is a listening ear and is there just for them, only to listen to their story, to what they go through. And this is an actuality that most of our brothers and sisters are, whom are in dire need, are longing for. All right, thank you so much for listening to this live book reading, and God bless you. We end this reading with a nice piece of music called Adventures from Ben Sound.